Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 9. My name is Tania and my friend Kamila Kurnia Sari. We are going to present about analysis of project feasibility. Next, Kamila. Okay, the contents of our presentation. We will present about our data, and then we will present the result analysis using payback period method, net present value, and then the last using the internal rate of return. Okay, the data. PT Mustika will invest with a fund of 18 billion rupiah with an economic age of 10 years. The sales proceeds are projected as follows. The years from the 2010 years until 2019 years, and then the sales from the 10 billion rupiah until the 12,8 billion rupiah. Estimate cost or cash cost annually at 45% of each year's estimate sales. Depreciation using a straight line with no residual value from the investment of 18 billion rupiah is 3 billion rupiah for working capital purpose. The required profit rate is 25% and the tax incurred is 20% annually. As to analyze. The first, we will analyze using the payback period method. The second, using the net present value method. And the last, using the internal rate of return method. Source of data is in this link. Next. The first, using the from the question, we have some information about data. Investment is 18 billion rupiah, economic age is 10 years, and then the salary result like in the table. Operating cost is 45% times the sales or estimate annual sales cost. Working capital is 3 billion rupiah. Depreciation is using the formula investment minus the depreciation over the economic age. So we have the depreciation is 18 billion rupiah minus 3 billion rupiah over 10. And then we have the depreciation is 1,5 billion rupiah. And then the tax per year is 20%. And then the required rate of return is 25%. And then the first we will analyze using the payback period method. To calculate the payback period method, using payback period method, we must to make the analysis table like this. The first column is years, and then the second column is sales. The first and the second column we have from the question, and then the next column is operating cost, 45% times the sales, and then the EBIT, earning before depreciation, interest, and tax. The formula is sales minus operating cost. And then the depreciation, we have it from the previous slide. And then the EBIT, it's mean the earning before interest and tax is equal to EBIT minus the depreciation. So we have the value like in the table. And then continue the analysis table. The first column is years, and then the interest in second column. The interest is 0 because the PT Mustika not use the model from the bank or the obligation. The PT Mustika just use the model from the owner. So the value of interest is 0. And then the next column, EBT, earning before tax, is equal to EBIT minus the interest. And then the tax is equal to 20% times the EBT. And then the next column, EAT, which means the earning after tax, is equal to EBT minus the tax. And then the last column is the cash flow. Cash flow is equal to EAT plus depreciation. We can see the depreciation from the previous slide. And then continue the analysis table. From the question, we have information about investment is 18 billion rupiah, and then the cash flow in the first years is 4,7 billion rupiah, and then we subtract it 18 billion rupiah minus 4,7 billion rupiah. So we have the result of subtraction is 13,3 billion rupiah. And then so on until we have the result of subtraction in the 4 years is minus. It's mean in the cash flow in the 4th year, the model has written. And then next, PP is equal to 3 years. Why use the 3 years? Because in the 3rd year, the model, in the last time that the model has not written, plus the result subtraction in the cash flow in the 3rd year over the cash flow in the 4th year times the 12 month. So after that we have the result for PP is equal to 3 years, 7 months, and 18 days. Since the PP is equal to 3 years, 7 months, and 18 days, which is still in economic age, therefore the investment is feasible. Okay, next will be explained by Kamila.
Okay, thank you, Nova. Okay, we are going to analyze using net present value or NPV method. Before we analyze using NPV method, we need some analysis table. This is the analysis table of NPV method. The first column is year, and the second column is CV, or is we have this column from the calculation in PV method. And then we need to find the PV or present value for each year. And before we calculate the present value of each year, we need some column to help in calculation. First, we have the column 1 plus R, where R is the required profit that are given in the problem. We have the required profit is 25%, so we get 1 plus R is equal to 1 plus 0.25, and then the result of 1 plus R is 1.25. So this is the third column in this analysis table. And then the next column is T, where T is the year. For example, there is 2010, so we get that T is 1 because this is the first year. For the 2011, so we get that T is 2 because it is the second year, and so on. The next column is 1 plus R power T. It is a calculation, so we get this value. And then we calculate for DF or discount factor for 25%. So we get DF 25% is equal to 1 plus R power T. And then we get this value. And last we calculate for the present value. And the present value can calculate by this formula. PV is equal to CF over 1 plus R power T. So we get the value for each year is shown in the table. And the next we calculate for the total of present value, and then we get this one. And next we will calculate for the NPV. We know that for the investment, the nominal of investment is 18 billion rupiah, and then we get the NPV is equal to total of present value minus the nominal of investment. So we get the NPV value is shown on the screen. And since the NPV is positive or exceed in the investment, therefore the investment is feasible. So it is the result of NPV method. And next, we are going to analyze using internal rate of return or IRR method. And then this is the calculation or this is the analysis table for IRR method. We are going to compare two required profit. First, we choose 25% for the required profit because it is given in the problem, and the second required profit we choose any required profit that the PV, the total of PV will have the result less than the investment. So this is the calculation for discount factor for 25% required profit. This is the first column is year, the second column is CF, the third column is 1 plus R, the next column is T, next column is 1 plus R power T, and this is the value of TF 25% required profit, and the last is this is the present value for the required profit is 25%, and we get the total of PV is this one. And the next we choose for the required profit. The required profit is 45%. In the same way, in the calculation, we have this analysis table. We get this result, and so as shown in the screen. And then this is the table, the comparison table. There are 3 columns with 3 rows, and this is the difference of the required profit. This is the difference of present value. This is the difference of present value with an initial investment. For the first row in the first column, we have the value is 25%, because this is the required profit that are given in the problem. And for the second row, for the first row and the second column, we have the total value or the total of present value for the 25% required profit. And for the second row in the first column, we have there is 45% because we choose 45% required profit, and this is the value for the total of present value for 45%. And for the third row, in the first column, we have the value is 20%. 20%. we get 20% is from 45% minus 25%. And for the third row in the second column, it is the difference of the profit, the present value for these two required profit. So we get this value. And the next, the third column, this is the total of present value for the required profit is 25%. And for the second row in the third column, we have the value is 18 billion because it is the initial investment. And then we take the difference of the PV with our initial investment, so we get this value. And the next we calculate for IRR. IRR is equal to 25%. We get that 25% is the required profit that are given in the problem, plus this is the difference of PF with initial investment. This is the value of difference over the difference of present value for two required profit times 20%, and 20% is the difference of these two required profit. So we get the IRR is equal to 26.43%. And since the IRR is greater than 25%, therefore the investment is feasible. And this is the result for the analysis using internal rate of return method. Okay, the next is conclusion. So the conclusion is by using three methods, PP method, NPV method, and IRR method, the analysis results are obtained that the business is worthy of investment. Okay, I think it is enough for our presentation. Thank you for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.